As a follow-up to this summer's week-long expedition to Great Expectations Cave in Wyoming, a 4-day effort to continue the survey and improve some of the fixed rigging was planned for late September. We had 14 participants from Colorado, South Dakota, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, and Utah. A COVID-19 mitigation strategy was used to try to reduce the potential for spreading the virus. In the entrance room, a new bridge was installed to span the gap between the floor and a large breakdown block that previously utilized 4 rotting logs.
Thank you.
On the first day of the expedition, we had 10 cavers go to Lost Warland River, with 2 teams working on continuing the survey and 1 team working on replacing old anchors and rigging. There were previously 3 mandatory rope pitches that included Gonzo Falls, B-52 Falls, and Connection Falls. All of these rope pitches utilized bolts, but most of them were old rusted 1/4-inch split shaft or self-drives that were an accident waiting to happen. These have all been replaced with 3/8-inch stainless steel sleeve or wedge bolts. Additionally, 3 other shorter drops that could be free-climbed, but with significant difficulty and risk, were rigged with similar hardware. Most of the new anchors utilize stainless steel chain and rappel rings to equalize the bolts and provide the option of either installing a fixed rope or rigging for a pull-down. If conducting a through trip and the exit's been pre-scouted, then a pull-down trip is an option and leaves less fixed rope in the cave, which would eventually become trash. The first day of project work took a significant toll on the team due to the 6 to 7 hour one-way travel time, the effort involved in caving in a 5 to 7 millimeter wetsuit, the extreme cold of the river, and the physically challenging nature of the chimneying and climbing required. Teams left camp by 9 a.m., and the last team didn't return until nearly 6 a.m. the next day. third day of the expedition, we tried a new strategy of taking an additional few hours during a through trip to continue the survey. Through trips have traditionally taken 16 to 18 hours and are extremely taxing, which would leave little time or energy to also conduct a survey. But increased familiarity with the route and improvements to the rigging allowed a through trip in August of only 9 hours. It was decided to try to repeat this in September while adding 2 to 4 hours for survey in the river. The through trip was hampered a little by sub-freezing overnight temperatures, which caused cave suits and boots to freeze, and the days are getting shorter as we get into the fall season. Despite these issues, we were able to get into the cave by 7:30 a.m., and once we got downstream in the river, the team of 5 split into 2 survey teams that were able to survey a total of 1,600 feet before continuing downriver, through the Groom Crawl of Death, and out the Great Exit. Travel time was reduced to about 8 hours, and the total trip time was just over 10 hours. We were even able to exit in time to hike out of the gorge in daylight. On future trips, we may try to extend the survey time to 4 to 6 hours in an attempt to improve productivity, but from now on, conducting surveys as part of a through trip makes more sense than trying to survey as part of a round trip from the Great Entrance. The distance and effort in a round trip is just not efficient or productive anymore.